It's rare to see a friendly face when you're out and about in Red Dead Redemption 2, particularly when you spend as much time sassing people and then riding off as we do.
I like you, mister. You have a kind face. The kind I like to punch. What'd you say?
So it's a nice surprise when you're riding around Lemoyne to meet this jolly fellow hanging around on his porch at the Aberdeen pig farm.
Don't be shy, partner.
I mean, sure, he could have put a shirt on, or some shoes, or looked less like an obvious murderer, but his demeanour sure is pleasant.
Well, ain't this a rare treat? Why didn't you tell me we had guests coming? I'd have fixed myself up nice.
Oh, and his wife's here too. Well, I mean, it would be rude to turn down an invitation, right? And Arthur Morgan is anything but rude.
That smells delicious. The food don't smell too bad neither.
Oh, stop it, you!
Well, this is awkward and sinister. What do you reckon, Arthur?
And we still know how to have a hog killing time.
Yeah. Turns out Arthur is right, because if you drink what the couple offers you, you'll pass out and wake up in a ditch with another unlucky soul on top of you, minus all your money, but with an added murderous rage. Should have stolen the guns as well, guys. There is a tragic backstory here. It seems that the couple are actually brother and sister who killed their parents before settling down to their life of weird traveller murder, storing all their stolen cash behind a giant portrait of their dead mother. Man, I'm going back to just insulting people whenever I see them. Way safer.
That's a fine horse you got there.
Hey, thanks.
How long you been married?
That ain't even called for.
Being a gunsmith is a stressful job, probably. You've got to do loads of delicate, intricate work, sometimes you drop things and they go off, and, oh yeah, people are always robbing you with the stuff you just sold them.
Uh-huh. Let's think about this very carefully now.
So you can see why some gunsmiths take up hobbies to help them blow off some steam. That being said, we can't possibly condone the extracurricular activities of the gunsmith in Rhodes, who's rejected poker or cigarette card collecting in favour of kidnapping and imprisonment. Stop by the gunsmith to pick up some essentials, and you might be greeted instead by a voice coming from the basement. Investigate further, and it's pretty clear that the Rhodes gunsmith has gone wrong.
Why are you dressed up like that? I've seen some sick perversions in my time, but this one might take the prize.
Turns out the gunsmith has kidnapped this young man, chained him to a bed in his basement, and forced him to wear a sailor suit.
Why are you wearing that sailor suit?
That crazy maniac put me in it. He thinks I'm his kid's son.
He thinks this young man is his dead son, and this whole situation is deeply sad and unpleasant in every possible direction.
I know it was wrong. I just couldn't face that he was gone.
So, a horrible situation for everyone involved. Oh, except me, because I got a Lancaster repeater out of this box, so not all bad. Not all bad. Look, I don't want to tell you how to live your life, but maybe don't go wandering around swamps in the middle of the night. Firstly, mosquitoes. Secondly, there are alligators everywhere. And thirdly, if you're in the swamps around Le Gras, you might come across the home of the Night Folk, an incredibly creepy group of zombie-looking murderers. Our first introduction to the Night Folk was coming across this unfortunate gentleman on a ride into Saint-Denis. Closer inspection revealed that someone had strung him up, and that also those people were right there and were terrifying. According to a letter found on the body, this guy took a bet from his frat bros to spend a night in the bayou to prove he wasn't scared of the Night Folk, which is pretty ironic considering how he got murdered by the Night Folk and all. The next time we ran into these scabby scallywags was a few nights later when we spotted a couple of Night Folk casually toting around a dead woman, which, again, don't want to tell you how to live, but that's a no in our book. Finally, we stumbled across this guy camping out in the bayou. Turns out, Night Folk had taken over his cabin and were using it as a base to do horrible murders, so we agreed to help him out, because it wasn't clear at that point just how much annoying talking this guy would be doing on the way.
Gator bites is nasty.
Mm-hmm.
Then turtle bites is bad too. They call them snapping for a reason.
If it wasn't clear before, the multiple mutilated bodies strung up on the way to the cabin make it obvious that the Night Folk are bad news, and there's maybe something a bit more sinister and supernatural going on behind the scenes, in the way that none of them ever talk, going about their grim business and even attacking you in total silence. which some people could learn a thing or two from. Not naming any names. You. It's you. As creepy as the night folk are, at least they're actual physical beings that you can put a shotgun slug into should you so wish. The same can't be said for the actual, literal ghost that you can find around Blue Water Marsh in Lemoyne. Head to the bayou late at night and you might hear a faint woman's voice despite there being no one around.
Come back to me! Please don't let her come back to me. Honest. He will too. I just know he will, Mother. I just know he will.
Checking back on successive nights reveals more and more of this tragic story. And occasionally, you might actually catch a glimpse of the woman in question herself, who is now, you'll be pleased and or terrified to hear, a ghost.
Mother, you can be so unkind. So very unkind. It ain't like that.
Online sleuths have decided that this woman is Agnes Dowd, a woman buried near Shady Bell who, her gravestone tells us, killed herself and others. And from what we can deduce from the voice that we hear, hers is a tale of heartbreak, violence, and revenge.
She never loved you. She never did.
So, to repeat my earlier advice, there are horrible things hiding in the swamps at night, and only about half of them are alligators.
You all right there, boy?
The area around Rhodes in Red Dead Redemption 2 is the stomping ground of two wealthy old plantation families, the Greys and the Braithwaites, both of whom hate each other and have been feuding since time immemorial. However, it turns out that the Braithwaites' hatred doesn't just extend to the Greys, but also to members of their own family that they consider to be an embarrassment to the name.
Our families, the Greys and the Braithwaites, we bury our secrets, and we bury them deep.
Penelope Braithwaite mentions a cousin of hers that disappeared, and if you head to this spot on the Braithwaite estate, you can find exactly where she went. Whoa! Yes, the Braithwaites, for whatever reason, chose to lock this member of their family in an outhouse and bind it up with chains and then, I guess, forget about her? What the hell, guys?
Yeah. What about this? You want to marry me?
Yeah, I'm okay, thanks. But seriously, that's not on, Braithwaites. Now I feel way less guilty about all that stuff I did in the main story. With how much of people's time in the Old West appears to have been spent cutting up animals and peeling off their skin, it was only a matter of time before someone decided to start sticking bits of different animals together to make horrifying man-made mutants. So it's no surprise to find out that someone has been doing just that up near the Van Horn trading post. Head to this house just out of town and you'll notice that while it looks abandoned, there is a light on in one of the upper floor windows. A bit of cowboy parkour later, and we can make our way inside to this laboratory where, oh my god, what the hell is that? Okay, it looks like someone was trying to create a mishmash of a bear, a boar, an eagle, and a bunch of other stuff for reasons that I'm sure were clear to them, but remain a mystery to me. On the one hand, advances in science are a good thing, and a deeper understanding of the relationship between man and animals could be beneficial to the human race. But on the other hand, I am burning this place to the ground. See ya. Red Dead Redemption 2 is full of beautiful scenery, wide sweeping vistas, lush forests, and imposing mountains, so it's a real shame when these lovely views get ruined by piles of limbs and blood trails, like they are here up near Strawberry. Further investigation reveals that this is the work of a serial killer who has really put some thought into their presentation.
Can't imagine this is here by accident.
As you travel around Red Dead Redemption 2, you'll come across two more victims, each presented in the same way, and with another clue as to the location of the killer's hideout, because this serial killer apparently welcomes visitors.
Making a point with you.
Eventually, you're able to track the killer to his basement lair, and yes, it is exactly what you were imagining when I say the words serial killer's basement lair. The place is full of skulls and knives, the desk is covered in overbearing letters from his mother and unsent letters to the newspapers explaining how great he is, and the less said about the corpse display room, the better. Also, some life advice: if you're exploring a serial killer's basement lair, make sure that the serial killer isn't actually there, because otherwise this happens. Luckily, this serial killer is a useless chump, so we're easily able to smack him in the head with a skull, knock him out, and drop him at the sheriff's office so that justice can be served. He'd rather that the sheriff was served, but at least someone round here is good at their job. Me. It's me.
Thank you, my lord. What a monster.
So those were our favourite creepy spots that we found throughout Red Dead Redemption 2. And before you ask, no, I'm not going into this shack in Lakay. What did I say in that last video? Nothing good ever happens in shacks.
You're real strange, you know that?
So, you hungry?
Okay there, boy.
Let us know in the comments below what creepy discoveries you've made on your Red Dead Redemption adventures, and make sure you are subscribed and hit the bell icon to be notified when we upload lots more Red Dead Redemption 2 videos very soon. Thanks for watching!